Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Mahabharatha podcast. This is your friend Shankar Narayan signing in. Last episode, I left you with the Bhishma Pratigna. We saw what the conditions that were put by Satyavati and her father, and what did Bhishma do to ensure that these conditions were met, and he got Satyavati married to King Shantanu. Satyavati gave birth to two boys, and they were named Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Now Shantanu lived for some years, and after that he passed away. And as per the agreement and as per the oath took by Bhishma, Chitrangada was declared as the king after Shantanu's death. This fellow died in a very unwanted, stupid manner. If you listen to the story of this fellow Chitrangada's death, we will not know whether to laugh or cry, or it's a very stupid way of dying. But the story goes like this. Once a demigod, or what we call as a Gandharva, also had the name Chitrangada. So he came down and asked Chitrangada to change his name. He said, okay, I cannot accept anybody else sharing the name with me, so I want you to change your name. Chitrangada was a king, so he should have thought wisely, and he should have thought how to settle this matter out. Instead of doing that, this fellow went for a war with Gandharva. He invited him for a war. He challenged him and he invited him for a war. And unfortunately, Chitrangada was killed in this war between him and the Gandharva who shared the same name. Next, as per the agreement, Vichitravirya was put to throne, which means Satyavati's son only should become the king. So Vichitravirya was put to throne. See, actually, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya were put to throne only for the sake of it. It was for namesake. It was, they were the rubber stamps. The entire administration was actually taken care by Bhishma, standing beside the throne. Because when he made the Pratigna, he also had promised that he will stand by the king, whoever is the king of Hastinapura, and ensure that he will take care of a smooth administration of Hastinapura. So he put Vichitravirya on throne, made him the king for the namesake. Once he became the king, Satyavati now started thinking about the future. She was worried that only two sons she had, one died, and another fellow, even this fellow Vichitravirya, was not such a very convincing king piece. He had a lot of weakness, and she was worried, okay, how will this family tree grow now? Because see, why the kings and queens in the olden days were worried about growing the family tree is because of the Varnashrama, because of division of labor. It was thought that it is the responsibility of that particular family to ensure that they have enough people in the family to continue the administration and continue being the kings. It was their responsibility. It was not just that they had the freedom to be the kings. They had a monarchy or something. It was also considered it is responsibility of that particular family to continue the lineage and produce this enough or right number of kings, or the able kings to continue ruling. Now Satyavati is worried. This fellow Bhishma has taken an oath, and she knew this fellow will not change his mind. So she wanted to ensure that there were enough next generation to continue the lineage of Suryavansha. So she started thinking about getting Vichitravirya married to the right bride. At the same time, Kashi Raja, the king of Kashi, had organized the Swayamvara for his three daughters, Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. Kashi Raja knew the situation of Hastinapur. He knew Bhishma would not marry, and he did not want his daughter's marriage with someone as ordinary as Vichitravirya. So he had sent invites to all the eligible princes around Kashi, but not to Hastinapur. Bhishma somehow got to know about it. Of course, he was a very wise, able administrator, so for sure he will have enough network to know this. Upon knowing this, Bhishma was furious, and he made up his mind that he's going to get all the three princesses marry to his brother by force because of the unacceptable gesture of Kashi Raja. Many people ask me this question whenever we discuss about this. Okay, we say Bhishma was such a brilliant character. Was he right in, kidnapping the three princesses and getting them married to his brother? Bhishma would not have done it had Kashi Raja aligned to the Kshatriya Dharma that he has to invite all the princes from around Kashi. It was Kashi Raja's mistake that he did not invite Vichitravirya for the Swayamvara. So Bhishma said, okay, this is unacceptable, this is an insult to Hastinapura. So to avenge this, I will ensure that I'll get all the three daughters married to my brother. Bhishma went and reached the venue of Swayamvar, and the problem is now, since he went instead of Vichitravirya, as I said, Vichitravirya was a very ordinary fellow, so Bhishma went for him. They started making fun of Bhishma. They thought that he had come to marry the princess by breaking his vow. This made Bhishma even more furious. First of all, he was furious. These guys made him even more furious. So he told Kashi Raja in a loud voice that he would take all his three daughters for his brother and no one can stop him. He then grabbed hands of all three princesses and pulled them, and the other princess in the hall tried to stop Bhishma. But Bhishma was such a fierce warrior. None in the hall were an answer to Bhishma's warriorship. He fought all of them and injured them all. Out of all of them, there was one prince called Shalva who did not give up. Of course, even he was getting nicely pelted by Bhishma, but that fellow never gave up. He did his best to try and stop Bhishma repeatedly, and every time he got big blows from Bhishma. Every time he got up, he got nice blows from Bhishma. And after all those rounds of beating by Bhishma, finally he was very badly injured in the process. Finally, Shalva was defeated and he had to give up. Bhishma took Amba, Ambika and Ambalika to chariot and he asked the charioteer to start. Half the way, Bhishma saw that two of the princesses were silent. Of course, they were still trying to digest what had happened. But Amba looked really sad and soon she burst into tears. Then again, Bhishma was a very nice, intelligent face reader, so he understood there's something else here. Bhishma asked her what the reason was for her grief, and Amba slowly said, it is because she does not wish to marry Vichitravirya as she was deeply in love with Prince Shalva. So this is now Bhishma realized why Shalva kept coming back after all the blows, and he realized what he has done. So he asked, why didn't you speak up earlier? Amba said it was because she was in the state of shock, and also she was very afraid to talk because it was Bhishma in a very angry mood and he was belting every princess in the hall left and right. So looking all at that, Amba was really shocked and she was terrified even to talk. But now she had realized that she'll not be able to marry Shalva, so she was crying. Soon they reached Hastinapur, but as soon as they reached, Bhishma arranged a chariot for Amba and asked the charioteer to safely drop back Princess Amba to Prince Shalva's place. Now Bhishma realized his mistake. As I said, he had lot of respect for women, so he respected their feelings. It was Kashi Raja's mistake that he had to kind of kidnap all these three princesses. But as soon as he understood that Amba was in love with Shalva, so he made arrangements that Amba be dropped back to Shalva and she gets married to whoever she likes. Amba was really happy for this. She left to Prince Shalva's kingdom, the chariot. However, Ambika and Ambalika was married to Vichitravirya. They were okay. They thought, okay, we are going to be queens of Hastinapur. They accepted what came by and they were married to Vichitravirya. Now there are two branches to this story at this point, and one tells what happens to Amba after she goes and reaches Shalva's place, and other tells us what happens at Hastinapur after Vichitravirya's marriage. Now let's go to the first branch. Amba happily went to King Shalva and ran to meet him. As soon as Shalva saw her, Shalva gave a very unpleasant and disgusting look. Amba was very surprised to see this. She thought Shalva will be equally happy and excited to see her back. But the look that Shalva gave was exactly opposite to what Amba had imagined to be. Amba was very surprised, but she told him what had happened, that she has been sent back with all honors by Bhishma and she has come to marry him. Shalva again looked irritated upon hearing this, and he said, "Do you think I am a coward to marry a woman whom I lost to someone? Bhishma has won you in a battle and only he has rights to marry you. I can't marry you." And that's what Shalva said. Now these kings always gave lot of importance to their maryada, or for them losing a battle is worse than dying. They were happy to die in a battle, but losing a battle, losing and being still alive, it's something that each kings could not digest at that point, because to ensure that they protected their border, they had to have this attitude that fighting, winning a war is everything for me. So such strong defense, not just in the skills that they develop, they also develop that kind of attitude. So the attitude, again, when we say maryada of kings, it was not the vanity, as I can put it. It's not the vanity, but it was assumed that a king needs that kind of an attitude to ensure that he protected his borders and kingdom from invasion of other kings around. So that is why for a king, losing a battle means worse than being killed. So that's what the same this fellow Shalva says here, that okay, I lost you to Bhishma in the battle, he won you, now I can't marry you, I can't take it more like a gift from Bhishma. If I had won you, I would have married you very happily. I did not win you, I can't marry you. Amba was again shocked. She tried convincing Shalva in many ways, but he was very stubborn. As I said, for a king that was more important, so he was very stubborn. With a broken heart, Amba went back to Hastinapur, and now she told Bhishma, the whole mess is created by you, so you please correct this. I don't care how you will correct this. You are the one who created the mess. Please, you correct it. Now Bhishma was in a fix. Now Bhishma went to Shalva and try and convince him in whatever possible ways. Try to explain him that he kind of took Amba without the knowledge, and he wanted to ensure that Shalva marries Amba again. It is your responsibility to take care of Amba, as you fought and won her. If you have so much concern about her, you have to marry her. And that is what Shalva said. Now upon hearing this, Bhishma decided, okay, this fellow is in a different mood now. I am pretty sure whatever I do, this fellow will not be convinced. So he just came back with a very sinking feeling. Bhishma now had a very heavy heart and carried a bit of guilt that he caused trouble to Amba because of the anger. Now see, this is where we gotta stop a bit and think about the effects of anger. A person like Bhishma, such a great personality, such a well-respected, honored personality of Mahabharata, could put himself into so much of mess and trouble just because of few moments of anger. If you connect the dots towards the end of the story, this incident where he acted out of anger actually became the reason for his death. I think most of you would know the story that Amba later became Shikhandi, and it was Shikhandi who became the tool to Arjuna to ensure that Bhishma did not defend his arrows and he shot the arrows to kill. So if you know the story, if you connect these dots, this one incident where Bhishma acted with anger became the reason for his death, and this is what anger can do. We all have this weakness. We do lot of things out of anger. We do lot of things out of a small irritation, and that's why learned people, elders keep telling us, please don't do anything in anger. Count 1 to 10. We count 1 to 1000 also, that anger won't go these days. That's a known fact. But why do they say? Is because whatever you do out of anger, your focus is so narrowed down to the subject of anger. We never open up and think the wider prospect of any particular matter, and we will not think about the effects that could cause around. So we only know a simple cause and effect like an animal. So anger kind of tries to make a human being like an animal. So that is the ill effect of anger, and that is what put Bhishma in a fix as well. Now, once all this happened, he again came back. He told Amba that, okay, I'm sorry, even I could not convince Shalva to marry you. Now, Amba was so much disgusted, frustrated out of all this. See, she made up her mind that, she was also a Kshatriya. She was from a Kshatriya family. She was a princess. So she could quickly overcome out of her emotion and start thinking what next. So she convinced herself that, okay, Shalva is a finished story. Then she told Bhishma, okay, now only thing left is you marry me. You won me. You kidnapped me. So I am okay to bend my head down to you because you are a fierce warrior, a nice person. I am ready to marry you. I would have married Shalva. I was prepared in my Swayamvara to garland him. You came and created all the mess. I don't know. The only person now I wish to marry is you. You marry me. Now Bhishma was in big trouble. He said, no, I can't. I will never be able to do that because I have taken this not to, get married throughout my life. And I will live by my words. I will never break my promise. I can't marry you. Now Amba said, I don't care. Did I ask you to come and kidnap me? No. It was you who did all that. Now I don't care about your or promise or whatever, whether you made it to your father or whatever. I don't care. Now you get married. You marry me, you correct this issue. You break your or whatever to correct this. Bhishma said, no, I am sorry, I cannot do that. I know I have been wrong in, bringing you out of force, but that was because of your father. Now I don't have much stake in this. The only thing I can offer is you also can marry my brother Vichitravirya. So Hastinapur will take care of you. Hastinapur will ensure that you are safe. We will take care of you till the end in Hastinapur. The only option you have is that you got to marry my brother Vichitravirya. Now Amba said, nothing doing. That fellow is a useless fellow, is an idiot. I am not ready to marry him. Even if you are old, you are a very able person. Any woman will love to marry a person like you. You marry me. Now he said, no, sorry. The only option is you either marry my brother or you got to find your own way. Amba said, okay, I will see how you will not marry me, and she went. Now she is in anger. Now she is in a this anger is not a momentary anger. Bhishma's anger was a momentary anger. Now Amba's anger is such a strong anger, a woman's anger. Usually you can see that. You will see a lot of instances where when woman really becomes angry and she will get into action. Unlike men, we try to do a lot of hiccups, nothing useful. But women, even out of anger, they will still be able to think practically and do something in there. So here, Amba was angry. Now she said, okay, I will see what I can do. Then she goes straight to Parashurama. Parashurama, we all know, he was guru of Bhishma. See, in those days, teachers were so much able, they were so much learned, so much respected, that anybody used to respect teacher more than their own parents. They would never put down a word of a guru. So Amba clearly knew if Parashurama comes and tells something to Bhishma, he will follow. So she went to Parashurama. She narrated the whole story. She told him, now you come and tell your Chela, your Shishya, to marry me. I don't know. You decide. I think you are a very learned person. You know that I have done nothing wrong in this whole process. It was your Shishya Bhishma who created this whole mess. If you agree, please come and ask him to marry me. He has no choice. And Parashurama said, yes, you are right. It was Bhishma who's at fault here. So let me come down. So he came with Amba and he told Bhishma, see, now your guru is telling you got to marry Amba. It was your fault to have bought her forcefully. You have to marry her. Then Bhishma again as expected, he said, sorry sir, you tell me anything else. You tell me and you ask me to die, I will very happily die now because I am Ichamrityu. There is nothing better than giving my life to a guru. So you ask me to jump down the cliff and die, I will die. But I am not a person who is going to break my promise. You can see how Bhishma kept his word. In that time, saying no to a guru and still keeping your word is not such a small thing. But you see, as I said earlier, it's not like our New Year resolutions. The word was so much important for people back then. Whatever they talk, their words and their actions should always match. And that's how they lived. And Bhishma is the biggest example for that. And as expected, Bhishma said this. Then Parashurama said, okay, if that is where you want to stand, I give you only one option. Either you gotta fight with me, win me to keep your oath, or if you lose in the fight, you gotta marry Amba. Then Bhishma said, fine, I am totally okay with this. I am ready to fight. And when they prepare, before shooting his first arrow, he bends down to Parashurama, he does his namaskars to him, and he takes his blessing and he takes his permission. Even this is something you will see throughout Mahabharata, how respect to elders are kept. Respecting elders was such an important thing, and everyone kept that. Everyone ensured that they respected the elders. So Bhishma goes, he asked Parashurama for permission to fight with him, takes his blessings. Then they start to fight. They use all their skills, all their astras. Each one is the best defender. Each one is a fierce warrior. So they were attacking each other, but the other one was easily defending it off. Days passed. They fought for so many days, and then finally Parashurama realized, okay, this is not going to work. If we keep fighting like this, we will keep fighting. Nothing is going to work out here. So he told Bhishma, okay, fine, let's stop the war here. So he goes to Amba and he says, look, I gave him this option that he has to, marry you if I am able to beat him or defeat him in this battle. But since I was unable to defeat him in the battle, he will not be defeated, nor he will win. We both will keep fighting like this forever because we are equally skilled. And there is no point in continuing this battle. So now I cannot force him to marry you because I couldn't defeat him. So you please see what else you can do. Right now I am helpless. So Parashurama left, and this is where Amba took an oath, that now she takes an oath that I will ensure that Bhishma dies because of me. So what does she do for that? And what happens on the other branch of the story to Vichitravirya and Ambika Ambalika after their marriage? What happens next? Let's see all of this in the next episode next week. Until then, I sign off from you. It's bye-bye from Shankar Narayan. Have a great weekend. Have a great week ahead. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. See you next week. Bye-bye.